This is going to be my Wuben X1 Pro review. Now, I have a prototype and I got my flashlight probably 3 months ago. So I'm going to put the screen, put on the screen the specs because I don't have a production model yet. This thing is supposed to be pretty freaking powerful. Now, on this bike, I normally use the bike light, right? But I'm going to use the Wuben X1 Pro and allow that to be my light for this entire journey. So this looks like low, medium, high, turbo. Okay, we're not gonna do turbo yet, but so let's just see if I can rock this thing on low or medium. And I'm gonna roll, well, let's probably do high. And we're gonna roll around, do my normal ride, which is a few miles. And let's just see how this thing could function as a bike light. So, of course, this is the Wuben X1 Pro. I don't know if it comes with the bike mount. Of course, like I said, this is a prototype model, but you can use a bike mount. So what you're seeing right now is if you're only using the Wuben X1 Pro as your bike light, no illumination whatsoever from this e-bike, is just the light itself. Now, this is user error when it comes to the light swiveling around. It does provide plenty of light. I probably could put some electrical tape on the handlebars to make it a little bit more steady. So right now I have it in spot mode. You can also put it in flood mode, which is what we have now. And you can do a mix when you're using both emitters at the same time. You can clearly see the difference between a spot and the flood. It's not a huge difference when you're rolling in ambient light, but when it's pitch dark, you can definitely tell the difference. Let's get on the trail since we're talking about pitch dark. So the trail is going to be the true test to see if it's something that we want to be able to use in these dark environments. Barely any type of light here. It gets pretty freaking dark. So I might decide to use it in spot mode just to be able to see a little bit further up on the trail. And we're going to keep it on high. The bike mount does seem to be pretty sufficient. So right now I'm going about 16 miles an hour. Bike mount is holding on pretty good. I've been using this for about, I don't say 3 or 4 months before they released a production model. And sometimes it can feel a little bit sketchy when I'm going like 28, 30 miles an hour on an e-bike, but it never falls off. It always stays on. So the Wuben X1 Pro, I like the light output that it does. Of course, it can do almost 13,000 lumen. It's a powerful light. It has a fan. So if you're riding a trail, if you're rucking, you know, something like that, you're going to have a way to see what's in front of you. Now, for this ride, I forgot my glasses. So this ride is going to suck. I'm not going to take it above 25 miles an hour, mainly because if I decide to do that, then I'm going to be fighting bugs all in my face and all that good stuff. So anyway, so we're still rocking this in the mix mode. You can see the spotlight kind of right there in the middle, a little bit of a hot spot. And let me just show you one of my favorite spots here up here on the right is where it's very, very dark. Okay, so the ambient lights from street lights don't exist. It takes you down by a creek. Let me show you how dark it is without the Wuben X1 Pro. So this is on high. I'm going to kill the light here in a second and show you exactly what this thing will look like. Look how freaking dark it is. And then that brings you up to turbo mode with that spot beam. Is going to give you just the amount of ambient light that you need so that you can continue to roll out. So some areas you're going to decide you want to use medium, or you may decide that you want to use turbo or whatever. But it's a very suitable light for stuff like that. Now, here's my concern. I thought turbo mode wouldn't be able to be used for more than like, what, 45 seconds or so. At least that's what happens a lot of times when I have some of these lights. Because of the built-in fan, this thing can just go. I mean, it literally can stay in turbo mode. I've had it going upwards of like 3 minutes in turbo mode. And now it got a little bit warm to the touch. You can see on the bottom right hand of your screen there, the Wuben X1 Pro, that thing will get a little warm to the touch if you keep it pumped up to that amount. But this thing, even mine being a prototype model, if they made any improvements to the way to distribute heat on the production models, which I expect to get a production model here within the next few days, this thing's going to be great. Now, my biggest complaint, the USB-C cover, it is a cheap rubbery filling cover. I feel like if you're selling a flashlight for more than $100, Small details like that, you got to be on top of it. Either leave it naked like Streamlight does, or give me like a metal flap like we're getting with the new SK05 Pro by Loop Gear. We're getting it from Olight. Give me something that makes a little bit better cover. Now, here's a crazy thing, is that the USB-C charging port is IPX rated. So the port makes it more waterproof and dustproof, but it already has its own rating to be able to fall in like water or whatever. So maybe we could just get rid of it altogether. I'll probably do that later on in this video, just snatch and get rid of it. Next, this thing is freaking humongous. It's not a con per se, but if you imagine keeping this in your pocket as a ready to use light, maybe you're doing work around your house or whatever, way too big for that. Cargo pocket, yes. Front left, front right pocket, no. Matter of fact, it doesn't even have pocket clip. At least mine doesn't. Maybe the production models do. This is not the type of light that's encouraged for that. This is going to be the light that's in like the water bottle pocket of your backpack, maybe in the pouch of your bike. Maybe you're keeping it in a chest pouch if you're rucking. You're not using it for anything like a EDC light because it's way too freaking big for something like that. Just kind of giving you a heads up. All right, so now we're coming up on this bridge. It's Deerfield Drive, and it is a crazy, crazy dark creek to my right. I'm going to show you how this freaking flashlight can turn night into day. If you were trying to find something you dropped or something like that, check this out. All right, guys, I know it's absolutely dark out here, but we do have the Wuben X1 Pro. We're over a creek right now. Let's turn night into day very quickly. Test this turbo mode real quick. 13,000 lumens. There you go. Look at this output on this freaking flashlight. I mean, I'm sitting here, it was completely dark. Now I'm coming through, I can see basically every freaking spider right here that didn't even know it existed, lighting up the entire woods. You're looking for somebody down there, oh yeah, you're good to go. You're gonna be just fine. Getting back on the journey. Okay, so it's easy to remount the Wuben X1 Pro, get it back where you want it, get ready to rock and roll. So I like the fact it has that versatility. You want to be able to use it for fun. You want to be able to use it for search and rescue. That cooling fan is going to let you use it at higher temperatures for longer. Or if you want to use it for rucking or for a bike, you got all that versatility that comes out that quickly. So for this ride, I'm probably going to go in total probably around 4 or 5 miles. And I've been mostly using this thing on high or turbo at times. I suspect this is going to come out around 140 bucks. Check the links down below for the best pricing. If I have any discount codes, they will be linked down there as well. And those links will be affiliate links. So if you use them, you're going to be helping the channel out. Now, I like this because this has been my go-to light for any e-bike I'm testing or using, or if I'm going on a night ride. This basically stays secured to my bikes, okay? I don't use it alone with the e-bikes. I think this is my only e-bike where I can independently turn the light off and it doesn't automatically turn itself on. But this is allowing me to save power. I mean, imagine that this e-bike was, you know, came down to 10% or 15% and I didn't want to use the headlight. And so I can try to make it home, kill the headlight, and I can use this flashlight. And it works out for that. Now, could I use this as a rucking flashlight? Me personally, probably not, because of the lack of a pocket clip. They're probably going to sell some accessories in the future where it will have a pocket clip, but I currently use the Loop Gear SK05 Pro Mark II. I'll link to the review I just recently did on that. That's what I use for my rucking flashlight on my chest pack. It's versatile, having the ambient light on those front LEDs. Really good for just lighting right what's in front of me. If I'm trying to change out mosquito repellent, if I'm trying to put a little bit of bug spray on my arms, it's much more intimate for that. This thing is, it does have a low setting, right? But it's extremely powerful. Okay, it reminds me a lot of the Wuben A1 when it comes to the emitters for the spot beam. I'll show you what both of those look like. But they definitely use some high quality emitters. I'm glad that Wuben's not trying to do some in-house tomfoolery when it comes to their emitters. They're using some good quality when it comes to that. So let's get ready to wrap this up and take you guys inside of the studio and give you my final thoughts on this flashlight. What I just thought about before I wrap it up, actually, I like to come underneath this overpass and just show you once again how this thing can turn night into day. Look at this. Watch this going to full turbo mode. It's just so freaking, it gives me such peace of mind, right? So that was the SK05 Pro, my normal EDC rucking light. This is the Wuben. You can definitely tell the SK05 is only putting 4,000 lumen. This one's putting out 13,000. It's clearly a difference. It is a big boy though. Okay, so there's your spot. There's your flood. The flood is real life. You can tell the difference. And so if you're in a sketchy area, or if you want to use this to blind somebody, at least disorient them temporarily, you're going to be good to go on something like that. All right, so I just finished about a 4-mile bike ride with the Wuben X1 Pro as the main light that I used. And I don't know if you're going to take this as a con. It's not a con for me, but the fan on this is pretty loud. Listen. I mean, that can be loud. Now, why do you buy a flashlight that has a fan? Because you want the performance. You want it to be able to work well in turbo mode and high mode and all that type of stuff. While I was setting up the cameras for this shot, I ran this thing on turbo mode. It took me like 6 minutes to set up everything to get this shot going. Ran on turbo mode the whole time. It's okay. It's warm to the touch as I hold it right now. Okay, as I'm holding it in my hands. Now, I'm not going to, my hand's near the emitter, so it's a little bit warmer. Okay, if we go back to turbo mode, and it can just run. It just goes and goes and goes. Now I probably have one of the older models from a lot of review videos you've seen, because I've had this thing at least since like January, maybe even late December. So I know what this thing can absolutely do so far for me personally. I like the fact that it can input 30 watts for charging. I like the fact that it can output as well if you want to use it for those charging purposes. Now, this is using, I was on the bike ride earlier, yes, using 21,700 batteries. That is why you're able to get so much power out of these bad boys, which also means is when you're out on the go, if the batteries are going dead or whatever, you can swap it out. You can also take the fan out, as I mentioned. As I mentioned earlier, don't like this dang cover for the USB-C port. I'm actually about to remove mine right now. Wanted to keep it on here just to show you how much I don't like it for the review video, but I'm just going to let mine rock naked. I hope this thing has some type of IP rating or whatever for the USB-C port. I actually think it looks cleaner. Like, it looks just dope without it. Looks fine without it. And also it's easy for my finger to still reference for the power button. So the button here that I'm pretty sure in the manual that has some type of indication with the blue mean, and it probably goes yellow when it's almost dead, or red, some other shit like that. I literally did not get a manual when I got this, so I have no clue what the light means on the side of this. I don't know if it's about to die, if it's almost dead, whatever. So you do have to add the bike attachment area, so it doesn't come on here. It came in a box. You put this on, and then you can use the bike attachment. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty dope. Like I say, my normal rucking light is the Loop Gear SK05 Pro Mark II. This is, it's pretty big, but this is rocking 21,700s. This is rocking 18,650s. So you can absolutely tell why there's a size difference. For me personally, I like this light, but the functionality of my SK05 Pro just makes sense. I mean, literally, I use it all the time on my chest pouch, especially if I want to illuminate right in front of me while I'm doing something. That's like one of my favorite things about the Loop Gear, where the Wuben's going to be a lot brighter. But for me to do something simply like turn this light on while I'm like literally fumbling for something in my wallet or whatever, this makes a lot more sense for me. So this here, you can see, it does kind of just do whatever you need it to do. It's a decent light for that type of stuff. But comment down below, would you spend the money on the Wuben X1 Pro? Does the noise of the actual fan get on your nerves? Does get on my nerves, but I'm actually normally using this while going like 20 miles an hour, so I don't really ever notice the fan. But if you're rucking using this on turbo mode, you're not wearing gloves, it could be warm to the touch. You're definitely going to hear the fan. Just got to keep those two things in mind. But other than that, this might be for you. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.